This is a game I made in 1 week. You can reverse gravity, you can remove friction, and you can turn yourself into a magnet to launch yourself across the level. Now, if you're wondering how I managed to make all this, the answer is simple. I decided to learn as I went, and somehow by the end of the week, people were actually playing it. So it all started when I decided I wanted to learn game development. I went to this website to learn the basics of C#. I got about halfway through and thought, that's probably enough. Spoiler alert, it was not enough. So I created a Unity project, and within about 10 minutes, I had already encountered my first problem. Now, I knew that all good games start with a prototype. Basically, a prototype is a demo thrown together pretty quickly to see if the game has a good concept and is actually fun. So I opened a blank Unity project and wow, it's empty in here. Kinda like the inside of my head. Since this was just a prototype, I wasn't gonna waste time making art, so, purple square. Now, all I had to do was make the game, which sounds easy until you remember that I barely know how to code. First, I made the player move, and Google saved my sorry butt during this part. It told me to add a force to the player when I pressed the arrow keys, so thanks Google, very cool. Then I added the ability to flip gravity, and immediately broke it. I don't think that's supposed to happen. After some debugging, I finally got it to work. How it works is that when you press X or V, the gravity scale on the rigid body gets flipped. Unfortunately, my next mechanic was somehow even stranger. I wanted the players to be able to change friction. To do this, I made it so that when you press the letter C, it just swaps the friction-y physics material for the slidey one. Now, our beautiful square can slide around like a hockey puck. And then came the mechanic that almost made me regret this entire project. Magnets. Now, Unity doesn't have a built-in magnetic system, I think. So I started calculating distances, forces, vectors, normalization, and right, the magnet pulls things towards itself. Anyways, what I didn't expect was that the magnet would occasionally turn purple square into an intercontinental ballistic missile. Once all the mechanics worked, there was only one thing left. Actually making levels. And this is where I found out whether the game was fun or not. I made 5 levels, wrote a Bible's worth of tutorial text, uploaded everything to itch.io, and sent it to my parents and uncle. The results were mixed. The controls are awkward. What am I supposed to do? I like pizza. Thanks, guys. Truly groundbreaking feedback. But looking past the unending desire for pizza, I realized the game was too confusing, which I can relate to. When I wrote the code, only God and I knew what it did. 1 week later, and now only God knows. Which means I now have a much bigger problem. I have 30 days to turn this prototype into a real game. Custom art, more puzzles, no stolen assets, and no excuses. What could possibly go wrong?